That day will not come unless the falling away comes first and the man of sin is revealed. This day is not coming until the Antichrist is revealed. And we're not going to know who he is, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing that he is God. That's at the 3.5-year point where he stops the sacrifices and offerings, which is referred to back in Daniel. He's been revealed. 3.5 years later, he stops the sacrifices and offerings. He says, I'm God. I'm going into the temple. That is the sequence of events. That day is not going to come because we're not going to know it because we're out of here. If we know who he is, then we miss the rapture. That's what that's saying. Okay? Do you not remember that when I was still with you, I told you these things? And now you know what is restraining him, that he may be revealed in his own time. 4. The mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Only he who now restrains will do so until he is taken out of the way. Some people say it's the church. Some people say that it's the Holy Spirit. Doesn't make any difference because if the Holy Spirit leaves, the church leaves. Okay? Now, people will say, well, how can that be? Because God is everywhere. He is specifically putting himself in the believers. We are sealed with the Spirit. Ephesians 1:13 and 14. That is what's being taken out of. The Holy Spirit is omnipresent. He's everywhere at all times, but his presence is more seen in certain places. That's evidence from the presence of the Lord in the temple and in the tabernacle back in the Old Testament. That's a picture of what we have in us. We are sealed with the Spirit. That is what's taken out of the way. The Holy Spirit is still going to be here. He's going to be here forever because he's everywhere and always. But whether it's the church or whether it's the Holy Spirit, it's the same thing. We are being taken out of here. For the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Only he who now restrains will do so until he is taken out of the way. And then he will be revealed. And then he will be revealed. Okay? As it says, and then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay? We're not of the darkness. This is a period of darkness. We're of the light. We're sons of the light. This is a period of darkness. We're not of that. Paul just said that in verses 1 through 6, 2 Thessalonians 1, 6 through 10, I think it was. Anyway, we're not of that. And so we are out of here. And the timeline in Daniel is set. There's 7 years. The man of sin will be revealed, who's going to sign the covenant. If we're not going to be here when that happens, that means that we have to be pre-tribulation rapture. Anybody see that? It's so simple. It's basic stuff.
Yeah.
People complicate these things greatly.
Yeah.
They take them and they complicate them when the timeline is very, very simple. Okay, now I will do a larger talk on this at some point, and I'm going to lay it all out, and then you can have a copy of it, and I'll print it off and everything. But don't believe people when they say it's a mid-tribulation rapture. Where do they get their information from? They get it from the book of Revelation after chapter 4, verse 2, which isn't written to the church at all. It is written about Israel. The church is, a recipient of the letter, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that that is the dispensation of the law. Okay? You can't get the theology for a rapture out of those verses. It has to come from these verses. And that's what it shows. Pre-tribulation rapture. A couple verses is all you need to understand that.